All right, and welcome back for the episode of Carnivore Trades. Today is Monday, August 12th, 2024. If you're not done so already, please give the video a thumbs up, like, comment, subscribe to the channel. Come find me on carnivoretrades.com for swing trading alerts, analysis, and live day trading. Anyways, let's get into it today. So markets today, pretty much a non-event here. We've been pinned to really the 53.50 area all day. I talked about that in the short this morning. We were kind of floating up a little bit earlier. We had a little bit of a mini rally, but now we're and I said that there may be some mean reversion back to 53.50 if we don't hold the gains, which is kind of what we've done so far. So between 53.40, 53.50, this whole area just kind of a noisy chop, and we've been in a really tight range, so we are compressing for a move right now. You can see, I mean, look at the range here on ES. This is the tightest range we've been in a while, right? We've had lots of volatility. And that range is pretty tight there. You can see hourly, technically bullish inside bar there on the hourly, heading into PPI. But that's what the market is waiting on right now. So market's waiting on PPI, and essentially that's why we're just going sideways. So not a coincidence there. A couple of things though. So we did have some headlines. It is OPEX week. Don't trust the headlines at all. So there was kind of a scare, Hezbollah evacuating Beirut. It's expected Iran is going to, they've been saying that the war is going to escalate pretty much every day. And, we got another headline saying that, which threw water on the rally, right? Cold water on the rally. 1 minute, we're at 53.70. A few minutes later, we're down, 40 points. But you look at, volatility products. You got a little bit of a bid here on VIX futures, and it came right back down. Oil. I mean, this is what oil did on that big dump there. I don't really think, to me, it was kind of just a tape raid, and they're just using kind of headlines to push the market. Now, I will say, oil is up. I talked about this last week. I said, watch oil closely. If it starts really rallying without news, it could be telling you that there's some geopolitical stuff, because there's not going to be an invasion without oil rallying first. Somebody always knows, and it will bid up and it will front run into that. Now, that said, if there is an invasion, it's probably going to bid up hard, and then it'll be the top for the time being. And the same thing with the markets, just so everybody is aware, if there is anything that happens. A lot of people talking about post-Olympics, right? So now they're getting out, the window's open. Just be aware. They talk about this every day. Market has a chance to price it in to an extent. There's a reason why they say buy the invasion. That's one of the reasons. Another reason is central banks tend to be a lot more dovish during geopolitical instability. But nonetheless, just to make that point there, but we had that little sell, right? And zero follow through, right? We're just, don't trust the headlines here. I'm not expecting a trend move, even with PPI and CPI tomorrow. I am expecting whipsaw. We could see some big moves, but I think our range is probably set between 52 and like 5,400 tomorrow, unless we get like a really good pleasant surprise with CPI. I don't really see us getting through 5,400 at the moment, and it would be very rare to see a major breakdown this week. If you're looking for to play bear this week, that's fine, but don't look for a huge breakdown, at least until next week. So, in any case, market is hanging in there. One other thing I want to say about oil, because I know it's going to be talked about a lot. Hedge funds are really short commodities right now, and they're so short that I think they're getting squeezed. And I think that is independent of anything going on with the war and so. I mean, maybe they're so short that you get a little bit of uptick in talks about that they're panicking, but they are very short commodities in general. And if we take a look here, you can see the net positioning is very low historically. We had a deflation print last month with CPI. If that doesn't follow through, a lot of commodities could see a squeeze. I think there could be a little opportunity here in commodities, maybe metals, maybe oil, maybe it's already taking off, but that could be something. I'm saying all that to say this, that this could be unrelated. So right now, the sexy headline is, war, recession, depression, crash, but it could just be a mechanical move. Just keep that in mind. Now, if oil really continues to pump, it probably is more than that. But right now you have a daily higher high with no confirmed higher low yet. That's all it is. But good bid for oil. And again, tomorrow it's simple: 5,400 resistance. Short term, 53 is support. Breaking through that puts us back in kind of this grind zone. But bulls, you'd want to go see us hold these areas and look for a higher low here. Bears, obviously, here and then lower high, right? Pretty simple. Overall here, though, there's QQQ 450 pin. A little bit of resistance there. If we do push up, I'm looking at around like 19K on NASDAQ. That's where we broke down from. You got the 20 MA, 100 MA up in that area. And that was the old trend line as well. Right? So right in that area would be kind of our upside. And that would probably coincide with 5,400 or so on the S&P. So upside targets are pretty simple here over the next couple of days. IWM on the softer side. KRE is noticeably weak today, and that is taking the IWM down. Dow here down 2 points on the DIA. Semiconductors here, again, touching the 230 level. We talked about that. If it does push up, again, you got the 20 MA and the 100 MA up there. Those will be resistance if we are able to get through this area. IGV, that hit our resistance, right? So we talked about that level. We're pulling back today. No surprises. Transports here down 0.5%. Nothing terrible, nothing great. Again, a lot of this stuff is waiting on tomorrow. So you can see there's oil again there. Yields, again, 2-year coming in off of the 4.1 area. So yields they were trying to pump up a little bit earlier. And I was wondering if they start to pump up today, I was going to say to members like in the trading room, we might try to play short tomorrow. If they're pumping today into these resistances ahead of PPI, usually that's kind of a way of trying to price in a good number, but they did pull back. So they're kind of neutral right now. I would just say 10-year right now. You want a higher low on the bull side, which there is room for that. And then, 20 MA here is your first like minor resistance at this point. 4.2 is the big level. I don't think we'll go that high, at least not in the short term. 30-year 4.35 and 4.42. So again, market's kind of mixed here to flat right now. XHB here, down 73 cents. Not the greatest pattern. So I don't like the down move. I don't like the loss of 110 and the sideways action. The positive is the weekly is still just fine. But lately, that has been a soft sector. VNQ down 84 cents, but this has been a strong sector above all the moving averages. One of the only sectors that can say that right now. XLF, again, a little gap and crap type action, but nothing terrible there. If you can get through 42.50, this thing's fine. But possible lower high there. KRE is weak. There is still a chance for this to turn into a up zigzag up move, towards the 55, 56 area, but not good price action today. So banks a little bit weaker here. Same thing with KBE, same exact setup, same look. Broker dealers, inside hammer, inside day, nothing wrong with that. Talked about oil. There's XLE. That is a fake print on XLE, by the way. It did not go to 87.50. So I don't know. We'll see if that does that tomorrow. But it hung in there today and it was green. Only up 28 cents with oil up very big though. So a little divergence there. XOP up 1%. That still has resistance at 140, 150. And OIH has been very disappointing. So this was the strongest of the three energy ETFs, and it's been the weakest the last week and a half. So not a great bounce there for oil services. We'll see if that changes, but so far kind of soft. CCJ here down 1.4. Again, still got resistance at 42, and then 44 if it wants to go test that. URNM, I'm still thinking that retraces to 44. Nat gas pulling back in. So it had a good, 4 or 5 day rally, but coming back in off the highs. You have a pivot now to work off of 230 and then 240 if it keeps going up. Need to see a higher low to have any sort of attempt at a trend change here. Dollar index flat. I still think it wants to go up and test that breakdown area, 103.88. We'll see what we get tomorrow. Gold here right near all-time highs. Basically making new all-time highs. So I think that's an instability play. Geopolitical stuff. It's also uncertainty play with the inflation data. Silver up 1.5, holding key support. A lot of these metals are heavily shorted right now. Platinum up 2%, and palladium up 80 basis points. Another one that's really shorted is this. I now have kind of my first buy signal on this. I've not picked it up, but this is really intriguing to me down here. So we can talk about deflationary, the first deflation print since 2020 or whatever the hell that was last month. That doesn't matter. What matters is positioning, and this is starting to get really crowded to the short side, and it is into support. So right now, if CPI doesn't come in really deflationary, you could see a surprise to the upside in a lot of commodities, I think. And I think that's the story right now with how hedge funds are positioned. But copper up 2% here. I do think it is trying to carve out a bottom. That is not a, bottom for the next 10 years. That's just a tradable bottom. Because I know somebody's going to come in here and, 2 weeks from now after it rallies and start trolling if it reverses. But I do think it's getting close to the lows. All right, Bitcoin here holding up, backed off over the weekend. You want to see it get through this 63.2 area, obviously. So a reclaim of that would be bullish. Outside of that, though, bears have room for lower highs here. So it could come back down and maybe test the lows again. I wouldn't rule that out, but if it gets above 63.2, that obviously improves the technical structure. So again, market's holding up right now. We should be in between 53.40 and 50 by the end of the day. We'll see what we get tomorrow. Resistance is simple, 5,400. And I think that's why we were floating up earlier. We were basically on breakout. But I'm not the only person that sees 5,400, right? Like it's not hard to see this level. And it's also a fib retrace too. So if they're going to go there, they're going to have to shake some people out, shake the tree a little bit. So it doesn't surprise me that we had that dip. Again, tomorrow could go either way, but that is resistance. Short-term support is at 5,300. Through that, you start to go back into a chop zone, and then you start looking for retraces there. But right now, hourly bullish inside bar going into CPI. Range is very tight. We are going to get a move. I'm just not expecting a big trend move this week with OPEX being Friday. I think we'll see attempts at trend moves. Remember, there's a lot of traders right now that are really bearish, right? They're looking for a huge crash. There's also traders that are really bullish. They're looking for a huge short squeeze. Institutions are going to take advantage of those extremes, and I think we're going to get mean reversion towards the end of the week, based off of whatever moves we start getting here. But those are the levels. We'll watch them here into tomorrow, and we'll see what we get. So anyways, guys, I'm going to wrap up here. You guys take care. Come find me on carnivoretrades.com. I'll see you guys all tomorrow.